We're inside the manager's office as we get the Albuquerque Isotopes fans ready for the start of the season. We're with Bud Black here, Rocky's manager. But I want to start with this. The relationship between you and the Isotopes manager, whether that's Warren Schaefer last year, Pedro Lopez this year, explain how often you guys talk and what types of things you talk about.
Well, we talk at least probably a couple times a week, right? We know that we all have busy schedules, travel, stuff going on. But I think both of us try to make that contact at least twice a week. Mm-hmm. And simply we talk about players. I mean, that's the main topic pretty much all the time. And it could be pitcher, could be position player, it could be one player specific that we're talking about. But I'd say more than 99% of the time it's about players.
And would you say, like, hey, I need a shortstop, right? Or I need someone who can play 3 different positions. Who is most ready now?
Well, we know who all the players are. So I will say, hey, how's Josh doing? Mm-hmm. Tell me about Josh. Or if there's somebody new to the organization, we acquire via a trade, free agency, we pick somebody up on the waiver wire. We'll ask about that player because maybe we haven't seen that player. But most of the players on the Albuquerque roster we know. They've been in either big league camp, they've been in the organization, we know who they are. So we sort of know, how they're built, what they're made of, what their skill set is. And we'll ask, depending on what the phone call's about, whether, a player's ready for the big leagues, if a player's coming back from injury, performance, tell me why a player is doing so well, mm-hmm. or tell me why a player is not doing very well. I mean, both sides there. So it's many different avenues that we go down, but it's always about the player.
I feel like a big part of leadership is making sure that people know that they need to be honest and making sure that whoever's talking to you, whether that's the hitting coach, the pitching coach, the manager, it's not just telling you what you want to hear, right. but is giving you brutal honesty feedback, even if that might be uncomfortable.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, the evaluation from the critical eye, right? I mean, we can look at statistics and see good or bad, right? Sometimes the truth is not in the statistics all the time. So that's where the critical eye comes in, and we truly ask the manager, the pitching coach, the coaches, what is truly going on with the player? What are they seeing? So, the evaluation tool that a staff member must have is very important as it relates to our players.
One of the most exciting things for me and for those of us who work for the Isotopes is when the guy gets called up for the first time. And from what I've read and seen, you always make it a big deal. What are some of the types of things that you like to do, that you try to remember whenever someone from Albuquerque is coming up to make their debut?
Well, it's a special time. I know that, anytime you come to the big leagues for the first time as a player, it's something you've always dreamed of. The player will come into my office. There'll be more than just the handshake. Mm-hmm. There'll be the hug. Or, the other coaches will come in. The players will receive him in the clubhouse with big smiles. It's a special day. Hopefully, his parents, family, whoever has been instrumental in his life are there to see the debut. Something I like to do. Doesn't happen initially, but if a guy gets a base hit, a guy's is the winning pitcher, a guy gets a save. Their very first one, I'll present them with a sort of a. As a matter of fact, John, I'm going to show you.
Oh!
How about this?
Oh,
this is good stuff.
Oh man,
this is good stuff. And
is this a lineup card?
This is a lineup card, and this fellow, and you can appreciate this. Okay. This is Winton Bernard's first major league hit.
Let's go.
And I haven't presented it to him because we got it after the season ended. We got it framed, and so actually I got it. Winton's in camp with the Toronto Blue Jays this year, but this is, especially for Winton,
yes.
right? This was his very first hit, August 12th, and it's something that I like to do for players. And actually, I'm gonna call him this week, and probably we'll FaceTime, and I'll say I have the lineup card for your first knock. But this is something I like to do special for the players that who get their first hit, get their first win, their first save, something like that. So, anyway, it's really cool.
Yeah,
and
that's super cool.
And this is something that they'll always have, and they'll give it to. Either they'll keep it for themselves or give it to their parents.
Winton's going to give it to his mom. I know that.
Yeah,
and she's
no
going to
doubt.
put it up in the house, and then he'll see it when he comes home for the holidays and all that kind of stuff.
But that, that's the type of thing that I like to do once, that's achieved. But, and they don't know it, right? And they don't know that I do this, most of the guys, but it's really good stuff. And it's been cool when I've handed players out. I've seen, and I even tear up too, because I know how special that is.
Well, I mean, we all teared up with Winton last year.
My God.
I mean, there was all of us. Like, right. I've seen the video 100 times of him calling his mom, and I cry every time.
Right,
every single time.
It's such good stuff.
Yeah.
And as far as it relates to Winton, I've known him for a long time. Prior to him coming up, we crossed paths in San Diego. He's such a good guy. And as Josh, most of these players who pass the test of time, who get to the big leagues, are players with a lot of character, or they wouldn't have gotten this far. They have talent, but sure, there's more to it than talent. So we all run across the quality of people in our game.
My final question for you, it relates to like the diehard Isotopes fans, because they want to win, right?
Sure.
They want to win, and and I know when Clint Hurdle comes to town and Chris Forbes comes to town, he says, we want to win in the minor leagues.
Yep.
Tell me what you think about the importance of guys finding ways to win games for the Isotopes so they can win games for the Rockies.
I think that it's something we talk about a lot as, coaches, managers, front office executives, winning players. What's the definition of that? And winning in the minor leagues, sort of sets the table for things to come. Some players are just winners, right? They've won. They've won everywhere they've played, whether it's little league, high school, college, minor leagues. And the more guys you have like that, the better chance you are to win. You need talent, no doubt. You got to have talent. But if you can combine the winning type player with talent, it makes it, I wouldn't say an easier path, but successful seasons should ensue. So anyhow, as far as this this group in Albuquerque, guys who are coming from Hartford or guys who are coming new to the organization, we're trying to get as many talented winning type players as possible, and winning breeds winning. So, but again, first it starts with talent. You can have all the guys who have won in youth baseball or amateur baseball, who've maybe been surrounded by other players with talent.
Yeah.
They didn't have the talent. You need talent,
right?
For sure, John. You need talent, but there's a quality of winning players that really comprise of a good successful team.
We just talked to Brenton Doyle, and I said, hey, what's your goal for this year? You have statistical goals? He goes, I want to win a championship. He goes, whether it's in Albuquerque or Denver, he goes, I want to win a championship.
Yeah. That's what a great mindset. Yeah. I love that. I think that again, as a player, obviously this is a statistical driven game, right? I mean, we all talk about statistical performance, but at the end of all this, and this is what I share with players, nobody's going to remember what Brenton Doyle hit in Albuquerque in 2023. They're not going to remember how many homers he hit, what his batting average was. They're going to remember, hey, that Brenton Doyle was a good player. He was on the team that won the championship in 23, or he got called up to Denver and helped Denver and helped the Rockies win a championship. That's what people remember. So, love that. Yeah. Love that mindset from Brenton. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Love you spending some time with us. Thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. That's Bud Black, manager of the Rockies. Opening day, April 4th. Hope to see you at Isotopes Park.